Hey guys, it's me again, Britta. So I've been asked whether I can share a template of my statutory declarations that I've submitted with ACS for my skills assessment. So in this video, I'm going to show an example of my statutory declarations on my different companies. So I'll be sharing my scenarios, what requirements I submitted as my employment evidence, and like what does my statutory declaration look like in these companies. Okay, so stick around and we're going to go through each of these, and then we're going to see like what were the updated requirements of ACS. Okay, so this is my result for my ACS skills assessment. So as you can see, I've actually submitted 5 employers for my skills assessment, but out of my 5 employers, 1 was actually considered as not suitable, and you'll find out why. So first, I'm going to start with the first company, which is going backwards. So this was considered as not suitable. So I'll show you my statutory declaration for this in a bit. So the very reason is the requirements that I submitted for this company was my certificate of employment, the statutory declaration that my colleague has written for me, and that's it. Actually, my colleague for this has lost his certificate of employment, so guys, be very careful with this to make sure that your deponent has proof of his employment, and majority of the proof of employment that I've been using is certificate of employment from that company. Okay, so this is my statutory declaration for this company. Cool. So for my second company, I've submitted a statutory declaration, my certificate of employment, and the certificate of employment of my colleague. So basically, my colleague's relationship with me was, he was my manager, so he was a senior. So yeah, I'm quite lucky that I still have those connections. So ACS requires you to have someone more senior than you. So if you can't really reach out to seniors, I have other I was able to get help from a senior, but probably not from the same team as mine, but I still have connection with. So this is my statutory declaration for this company. Cool. So for the next one, for this company, I've stayed for like 4 years, and this company has a different scenario. So this company used to be part of a BPO, business process outsourcing company. So when we gained enough funds, we've actually became an independent company. So my statutory declaration really indicates there that the company used to be this name and then it was changed to this name. So really have to document it in the statutory declaration. So I work closely with my colleague, and for this one, I don't really have contact with my immediate superior, but I have connection with another lead that I work with. So she actually helped me write my statutory declaration for me. So for this company, I've submitted my COE, my certificate of employment, the statutory declaration that my friend has written, and then my certificate of employment of my colleague. Sorry, the certificate of employment of my colleague. Yeah, so that's what I submitted for this company. I've actually submitted more support on this, like my stock options, just to make sure that I have a strong case that it was under another name, but then it became independent, and it's still in the same company, but more of like it has just became independent. So my next company, this was pretty straightforward. I've used a employment reference. The very reason is I was able to reach out to the HR, and she's able to help me get an employment reference. So I've worked closely with the HR to define like what were my job scopes at that time, because I've already left the company and majority of my team has left as well. So I needed to help her like define what were my job responsibilities at that time. So I've worked closely with my previous HR on this one. So if you can do that, I think that would be really helpful, because you don't really have to do the statutory declaration part. So for my 5th company, I used a statutory declaration as well, and my own certificate of employment, as well as my colleagues' certificate of employment. So yeah, that's my last company. So this statutory declaration is you need to really appear in front of a lawyer, and like you both have to sign the paper and have it notarized. So this is not something like you just do on your own. So this is something you really have to do in front of a lawyer. Okay, I've gone through the requirements of ACS, and they've actually indicated that the applicant will be required to provide a letter or email from the company explaining why an employment reference letter cannot be provided. This is quite new, so I would suggest if you know some migration agents, maybe confirm this with them if this is something that you can just write on the statutory declaration itself. Like, why are you not able to provide an employment reference? I think that is something you can confirm with the migration agent. And then, yeah, another thing is making sure that your deponent is something senior than you. So just earlier, I've also mentioned that I couldn't reach to one of the previous companies that I worked for, that I cannot reach one of my seniors, but another lead I was able to connect with, so she was able to help me. Probably that is something that can help. You can figure out a way as well. So it has to be at least more senior than you. I wasn't in the same team, but I've worked with her, but we're not in the same team, but she's a senior. So yeah, it's still possible. A few of the things that is required. So if you guys have noticed in my statutory declaration, I really indicated employer name, the address, the logo is quite new. They just added this just now, or like, I'm not sure when this was added, but this is quite new. And then my name, the date of the letter, of course, the start and the end date of employment, and whether if it's still your current. So this is very specific. Guys, really read these lines, because this is really important. That you need to have this in your statutory declaration. That's why you need to work closely with your deponent on this one. And then salary and benefits. So that one is quite new. I didn't really have this in my statutory declaration. This seems like something that this has been recently added. Employment basis. So yeah, for me, if you guys notice, I really indicated that it was a full-time role. Then position or title, so very important. And then the description of the role. So description of the role, it looks like description of duties performed to me. But yeah, guys, if you're not really sure about this is quite new, so I can't really give like an exact advice in this. So I really recommend like reach out to migration agents if you're not really sure. So the things that I'm sharing is based on my experience, and by the time that I did my skills assessment, there are a couple of things that are shared here that I didn't really have I didn't had before. And then position and title, and description and role, location of work, of course, then description of duties performed. Yeah, just about the same as description role, I guess. And then contact details of signatory. This is very important as well. So if you saw my statutory declarations, there are contact details of my signatories, so this is very important. Oh yeah, this one is the most important. In your document, there has to be these words: sworn before, signed before or witnessed before. These lines are really very important. So if you guys have noticed it in my statutory declarations, these lines are used there. So my statutory declaration may look different. It's because they're coming from different people. That's why it's really, really important that you really need to work closely with your work colleague on the details that's going to be in your statutory declaration. Yeah, that's about it. So I really hope that I was able to help you in your statutory declarations. Just a disclaimer though, that I'm not a migration agent or a lawyer, so please take my advice with a grain of salt. Do your own research and do reach out to migration agents if you're not really sure, because my information are just based on my experience and to share some insights on how I did my skills assessment. So guys, I really hope that I'm able to help you in your statutory declaration. And if you need some more information on getting your skills assessment with ACS, I'm going to pop the video on how to get your ACS skills assessment as an IT professional in the description down below. And if you're looking at information on how to do a DIY processing of how to be a permanent resident in Australia, I'm going to share it in the description down below as well. If you have some more questions or you think that you can share more insights, do let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. So yeah, I'll see you around in my next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.